Hey, welcome to my channel. In this video, okay, that's stupid. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I suck at this. I suck at the openings. Today I'm going to tell you 10 things that you should start doing or practicing, okay? That'll attract women to you more. And remember, I'm married, so don't get the wrong idea here. These are things I've learned. I'm going to clear this up real fast. I look like I'm sick, but I'm not. I'm just freezing, okay? This setup is out in my garage, and my heater's going here, but I got this heated blanket over me. So I'm like, my nose is red. Number 1, don't text back too fast. Now, this could kind of also be called, like, don't be too needy. Don't be too available, okay? What I mean by this is, if you're texting a girl, right, you got her interest, that's good. But, like, let's say you're texting a girl or DMing them on some social media. If they're responding, give it a few minutes, especially if they hit you up first. Don't text back right away all the time. If it's an emergency, hey, can I call you? I'm really upset. Like, I need your help or something like that. All right, text back quick, but don't be too available. Women like the curiosity and the mystery of what you're doing. They don't know what you're doing, and doesn't necessarily mean anything bad. It's just a mystery, and they're not sure. If they draw conclusions in their head, that's on them. They don't know unless they ask. So it makes it seem like you got other things going on. You're not always available and willing to drop everything to answer her text. So yeah, it keeps a little bit of a distance there. You don't want to rush things. Don't be too quick to reply. Number 2, be confident / act confident. So if you aren't confident, you can figure out a way to act it, and there's many ways to do that. 1, don't be so uneasy. If you're in her presence, tapping your foot and moving around and kind of cowering and hiding your body, talking too quick because you're anxious and you're nervous, lacking eye contact and being all bashful, right? Some girls can find that stuff cute. There's been a time or two where I've interested somebody by being a little shy, but like most times, even if you're shy, you can come across confident. Some tips on how to do that: talk slower, spread out your body a little bit, make it well known that you're there and you're comfortable, right? Smile more, practice eye contact. If you have a hard time with that, try to stare between their eyes in the middle of their nose. Calm down, take some deep breaths, right? Just be calm, be cool, be relaxed, be comfortable. Don't fall for any tricks or anything to show that you get offended easy by what people think about what people say. That being said, wear something. Get in the habit of wearing stuff around that maybe most people don't wear, or practice telling people things that you do that normal people don't do, and if they shame you for it, be like, whatever, I like it, and move on, and act like it doesn't bother you. Those things, there's a lot of things that go along with being confident, but women love confident men, and trust me, they can smell you out. They can sense it if you are not confident. Men can too. Number 3, don't be scared to pick on her a little bit. Now, when I say this, I don't mean like calling them fat, making fun of what they're wearing, what they're driving, or calling them ugly, stuff like that. That's not what I mean. What I mean is flirt, a flirtatious way. I've always done this. I've done it to dudes, not in a flirty way, but just, you mess with your boys, you mess with your friends, your family, you pick on them a little bit, right? If you're not good at making jokes, well, figure out a way to be good at making jokes, because women love a sense of humor. And when you pick on them a little bit in a flirtatious way, now this can only work real well if you're like already kind of captured their interest and you're in a comfortable Comfortable zone. That can happen in a few minutes at a bar or a party, or it could take a couple times. But don't be afraid to pick on them. If you're good at jokes, don't be scared. They like that stuff. Guys do too. Example. These might be some stupid examples, but let's say you're at work and you like this girl, or you're at school and you like this girl or something. When she pops in, if you got someone near you, be like, hey, shh. I'll use my wife's name, Cheyenne. I'll be like, shh, Cheyenne's coming. Stop talking, right? And if she'd be like, what? You guys talking about me? Make it look like you're lying on purpose. Be like, no. Right? Give a charming smile. That might be kind of stupid, but also like the tests girls give you. Like girls test you. They test to see where you're, they test you in all sorts of ways. But one thing a lot of girls do, especially off the bat, is they want to test your wit. They want to test your confidence. They want to test your sensitivity, if you will. My wife, I still pick on my wife and say smart things. If she says smart things, I say smart things back. And I get her laughing. I can still do it. With my wife, I do it. And I pick on her. I mess with her. Make little jokes. It can be annoying sometimes too, but like, trust me. You'll be fine. Okay, girls like that stuff. It also shows that you're confident and you're not scared to push and pull, and sometimes they can make it seem like they can have a hard time reading you, which creates more of an attraction because they're trying to figure you out. You're not easy. So they're like, does he like me? Does he not like me? I don't know. He made this one joke, but it was kind of harmless. And it puts them in that mind state. So don't be afraid to do that. People like that anyway. Someone that jokes around and makes light fun. Number 4, be kind to other people all the time. Like I said, this is another one that you should just practice in general. Everyone should work on that. Everyone. People that are kind to your face, behind your back, and to others, they're just likable. People like to be around them. You know what I mean? Plus, it shows her that you have a decent heart, right? Shows other people that. You should always do that. Be the person that you would want someone to be to you. Treat others how you want to be treated, right? That's in the Bible. So show her that you can be kind to others. Open the door for others. Help others out, right? Now, people get that whole thing, nice guys finish last. Not necessarily. Weak men finish last. Excuse me. Weak men. Don't mistake my kindness for weakness. There's a fine line between that. Kindness and weakness. There's a fine line between being cocky and confident. There's a fine line between being controlling and setting boundaries. There's all sorts of lines there, and people confuse them. But girls will give you a little time. Women will give you a little time to see if what they're reading is correct or not. So if they see you being kind to someone, they're not going to think, oh, he's a pushover. No, you're just being kind to somebody. Jeez. Number 5. Listen more than you speak. What I mean by this, especially when you're on your first couple dates, don't say nothing, you know what I mean? But don't give your whole life story. It's better that you give a little bit by a little bit at a time. Focus more on what she has to say. Women love to be heard, and they like to know that they're spending their time with people, especially a man that they're considering being with. They love to know that he will listen when she has something to say, not interrupt her, and actually care what she has to say. If you really do listen, it helps you learn more about the person. And the more you're quiet, this is in the Bible too, be quick to listen and slow to speak. The more that you listen and don't say anything, the more people talk. It's just a fact. Take your time, and it also gives you time to think about what you have to say. Women also want to make sure that you're actually hearing what they're saying and taking in consideration their feelings. So this is more like down the road in the relationship, but if a girl's like communicating to you that she don't like this, or she wants, this to start happening in your relationship or in your household or whatever, she wants to know that you heard her and that you take it seriously. So practice listening. I know it can be tough, especially if you're a talker like me, but I've learned more and more that if you just sit there and listen, don't offer unsolicited advice, don't try to fix their problems, don't try to solve anything, because we're logical thinkers. Sometimes it's better if you just shut up and just sit there and give them, put your phone away, shut the TV off, and give them 100% undivided attention. This is, if you have a hard time at doing this, you need to practice it. Like relationships, both ends have to learn how to do that. They just have to. I've learned this over the years. Like, it's so true. Both have to. You're gonna mess up sometimes, but it's a good quality to have, being able to listen. Number 6, don't talk bad about others behind their backs. This is just good in general, really, but I've noticed this. If you start off dates and you're gossiping about this person, you're gossiping about this person, and talking bad about all your exes and all these things, and throwing out all their secrets and your friends, especially, if you still talk to some of these people and you say those things, she's going to think that you're two-faced, and if you're two-faced, you can't be trusted. So some people will still kind of date you, but they're going to be on edge with that, and it's going to put a little bit of a hole in the trust area. So be careful with that. You shouldn't be in that habit anyway. She could think that if we date and we break up, what are you going to say about me? And who are you going to tell my business to? So this works for everybody. You just shouldn't do that. I'm very careful with what I share with people that talk about other people's business. I've learned to basically not tell them anything. So that's a good one. Number 7, be direct and stick to your guns. Now this is kind of two things, but what I mean by direct is say what you want. Don't be afraid to. Ask what you want, right? Show her that, like, if you go out to order, that you're comfortable going up to people and ordering food and doing it without being all shy and whatever, but being nice at the same time. Let her know how you feel about things and your opinions on things. And if y'all don't have the same opinions, it's okay to agree to disagree. Not everything has to be matched up. So anyway, be direct and stick to your guns. Say what you want. Say how you feel. Let it be known. And stick to it. Show that you mean what you say at the same time. Good quality to have. It's what leaders do. Number 8, don't be afraid to admit when you're wrong. This has to do with humility as well. Humility opens doors for many things in life. If you can learn that you're not all that in a bag of potato chips, right? If you do make mistakes, and ask for help with correcting them or fixing something, you will grow beyond what you believe, my friend. Okay? Learn to be, if you're already not this person, learn to be able to be humble and admit that you're wrong. This goes with, like, maybe you don't know everything. People that are filled with pride, like the Bible even says that. Jesus said those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. Exalted meaning praised or given credit to. Also, this can be thrown in there naturally. Like me, I've been like that for years. Like, I'll tell a story, right? Like when my wife and I started dating, like some things I'll tell a story, and could be someone else, could be a fight I got into, could be a relationship, could be some situation at work that happened while we were starting a date, whatever. And if I lost my temper, I would admit, there's something that I got to work on. I jumped the gun, and sometimes I get a little angry and say things I don't mean, and I need to work on that, right? They could ask, why would you do this to this person? Like in the story, they could ask, why would you do something like that? Because now they're like creeped out. Maybe you hurt somebody, and you could say, well, I shouldn't have. It's not the right thing to do, right? It's not the right way to handle things, but I was 17 or I was 15 when it happened, right? I've grown since then. It's admitting that you were wrong somewhere. If you can practice that, those are examples of little things that They're not searching to see are you a humble person. It's just things like the more you talk about things like that, like you're not afraid to admit when you suck at something. You're not afraid to admit when you made a mistake or when you crossed a line or when you know some flaw you have. You're not afraid to admit it. And you're like, it's there. It should be fixed. You know what I mean? That can be attractive in people. Now, if it happens all the time, it can be more of a worrisome thing. But like, they need to know that when you make mistakes, you're gonna see them and you're gonna want to correct them. That's all I'm saying. Like I said, another thing that people should just do in general. Number 9. My chair is squeaky. Oh no, it's not. That's funny. I think I fixed it. Number 9. If you don't like something, let it be known. And this kind of like, that's kind of stupid to put. I don't know why I did that. Because I pretty much said that with being direct and stuff, and yeah. But I was thinking of something different. If you don't like something, then speak up. What I mean by that is if there's something that takes place in a conversation while getting to know this girl that you don't like, speak up on it. You know what I mean? Like, so, example, cheating is a huge thing, right? I've never cheated. I never would cheat. But I've been cheated on, not by my wife, but I mean, like, I'm talking girls in the past, right? And one question I learned to ask while starting to date somebody, I don't want to waste time anymore. I don't want to waste time thinking that I might be able to fix somebody or trying to believe they won't do it with me. It was just they cheated on this guy because he was a douche or they were young. I don't want to do all that. I don't want to go through that. I want to find somebody that has never cheated on somebody, right? Do it like this, okay? If you're having a conversation and you're at dinner or you're just hanging out at a movie, whatever, doing something, ice skating at the park, and you guys are just talking, getting to know each other. If anything ever comes up with an ex or relationships in general, or she brings up a joke, because sometimes girls will test you. Well, a lot of times girls test you, even when you're married for 20 years. They still mess with you sometimes. Test your strength and you as a man, right? One thing I could say is if you can find a spot to sneakily kind of ask that question, not randomly, but like just be like, hey, you know, or you could bring it up. Sometimes I've done that like straight off the bat. I'm so comfortable making people feel awkward, like by just bringing something up that they don't want to talk about. Happens all the time. Happens with my family. Happens with my wife. Happens with her family. Happens with people at work and stuff. I'll just straight up call somebody out and be like, let's talk about this. They're like, and they try to get all weird and bounce around, change the subject, and I'll say, hey, did you hear me? Like, let's talk about this. I want to talk about this. Well, if I don't want to talk about it right now, well, let's make it time to talk about it because it needs to be talked about, right? So if you don't like something, speak up, right? So sometimes I'll do that. I'd be like, listen, I just want to ask a question because I want to get a feel for something, you know? And she might be like, sure, go ahead. Be like, have you ever cheated on somebody? Be honest. It's okay. No judgment. I'm just asking. If she says yeah, you say, why, right? When did it happen, right? I would have some follow-up questions. But, like, to be honest with you, that's a no-go for me. You're a cheater. Now, people can change. But especially when people are young, they make stupid mistakes. Sometimes people don't take relationships seriously. Later on, they do. Doesn't mean they always will. No. But, like, I learned the hard way. Honestly, just I would have follow-up questions. If it only happened once and it wasn't really that cheating, if it was only, she's like, oh, well, I talked to another guy, but we didn't do anything, right? But I did break up with him, but I did kind of talk to someone else first. It depends on the situation. Because me, that's still cheating. That's emotional cheating. And even Jesus said, if you even look at a woman with lust, you commit adultery with her in your heart. So in God's eyes, it's cheating. And I trust God, so I would say it's cheating. But if someone's like sleeping around, whatever, like honestly, it's probably not worth your time. I would not try to get into that. And don't cheat on others. But anyway, if you don't like something about what they said or something seriously the wrong way, don't be afraid to speak up, ask questions, let it be known what you know, work on that. Number 10, the last one, Be clear on your goals in life, and also prove to them that you can reach those goals, and maybe even explain how you can do so. So let's say you start dating a girl and you're kind of embarrassed about your job. Maybe you're doing some entry-level job that's anybody could do, right? And she comes more from a classy background. One, she shouldn't care, especially if you're only, young, like in your 20s or in college. She should understand. But anyway, where do you work? Don't be afraid to tell her. McDonald's, or I'm a grocery bagger here. No offense to those jobs, but they're entry level jobs, and it's almost impossible for somebody not to get them. So anyway, be honest. Be like, oh, I work here. Yeah, it's great, right? And not what I want to do for a living, but be like, it's just for now until I finish school, or just for now until I get this money saved up for so and so I can go to school, or so I can go to whatever and get this certificate, or until I save up enough to get a down payment for this, and blah blah blah, right? And explain the journey you already wrote out, that you're gonna take, and then she'll most likely be like, that sounds pretty good, sounds like you got it figured out, right? Not think much about it. But over time, yeah, I gave that up, it's not worth it, blah, blah, blah. Those things are going to start to make her shaky a little bit. Like, what are you talking about? You don't mean what you say? You just can change a plan and a commitment like that, right? So if you're not sure what you want to do for a living, be honest. Honesty is the best policy. Honest. Be honest. Okay? Learn to be honest with things. Say what you like. Say what you don't like. Ask questions. Admit when you're wrong. Be kind to people. Who cares? Who cares what other people think? If you can get to the point of not caring what other people think, you become even more attractive. And people just want to be around you when you're like this. So these are 10 things that you should work on. Woo! That was corny, but I did it. So anyway, there you go. 10 things. Now, if you like this video and you like me, like and subscribe. I'm climbing up on 1,000 subscribers, baby. I'm halfway there, okay? So let's get that 1,000, all right? So that I can get monetized and I can start getting paid for these videos and doing more. Come on, help me out. Have a good one, guys.